Hello, guys. Hello. Sorry, I'm a few minutes late. My phone just won't stop going off. Um, but the most beautiful thing happened to me yesterday, and I just didn't get time to share it because I had so much going on yesterday, especially in the evening, and I've been nonstop this morning. So this live stream here is so beautiful. What I'm going to present, so organic. God is guiding me. God is honestly the greatest. What happened yesterday to me was nothing short of incredible. So I want to share this with you all. I really do. I think by the end of it, you're going to have a big smile on your face. 11 in the live, 2 likes, 11 times 2 is 22, a big part of my code. Hello, Mago MC. Hello, Pablo. Hello, Bernie Mac. Much love to you. Oh my word, 9 in the live, 3 likes. 93 is huge with this. I love these organic syncs. It's like this is like God communicates with me so often with the amount of people in the live and the amount of people that hit that like button. So yeah, I need to speak to my dad after this, and you'll understand why. 14 in the live, 4 likes. My birthday and my dad's birthday, and I just spoke about my dad. 14 in the live, 4 likes. Me and my dad's birthday. Wow. Oh my goodness, Dad, I love you to bits. I know you're probably not watching this, but wow, he's in Portugal right now. Oh my goodness, talking about my dad at 14 in the live, 4 likes. 14-4. Our birthday, the 14th of April. That was one of the nicest. Oh my word. Oh, wow. Hello, Kyle. Hey, Lady Hawk. Always love to see you in the chat. 15 in the live, 6 likes, 911, the 156 prime. 911 is a big part of this code. So this is not me decoding so much celebrities or pandemics or wars. This is a personal sync, and I've told you the personal syncs are the ones that give me the most joy, because I really see how this universe is coded, and that is how God communicates with us. But most of us are unaware of the code or use the code in a manner that's not really how it should be used, in my opinion. Lady Hawk, you have the flu. I'm sorry to hear that. I've been struggling all week. Today I feel better. I feel better. Hey, Jimmy Mac, Undoctrinated. So this is going to be special. So I'm going to read it out to you all. And I'm going to send my dad this. I really hope he watches it. So I don't want to make this live too long and drag it out. Look, 18 in the live, 6 likes. I always get that. Coronavirus declared a global pandemic exactly 18 years and 6 months after 9/11. Look, 20 in the live, 6 likes. My Patreon got removed on 26, 2 months and 6 days after my birthday. 26 letters in the alphabet, all the 26s with Queen Elizabeth. Born in 26, became the Queen on February the 6th, which is 2/6, coronated on the 2nd of June, which can be written 2/6. Mother died age 101, the 26th prime. The list goes on. So get well soon, Lady Hawk, and enjoy this, guys. I think you'll get goosebumps. And if I get overexcited, just let me have it. Let me enjoy this. You're always lovely today, Edders. Yeah, it's this. And before I get into this, I want to let you know that this code is not about the money. Okay? And you'll understand what I'm saying. It's not about the money. If you guys have been on my journey from when I booked my original flight to England that got cancelled, you're going to know how amazing this story is. If you're new to my channel, you'll still find it amazing. But if you've been with me, like Joey and Flinny and my dad, all right, from the beginning, and how difficult it was for me to get to England, how difficult it was to try and get my money back. And yesterday, I got my money back out of nowhere. And what's funny, the bank told me they would have a decision by December the 7th, 127. I was like, that's ages away. But 127, guys, is the 31st prime. And remember, I was born on my dad's 31st birthday. And I'm going to tell you why it was so beautiful that I got my money back yesterday. I have screenshots to prove it. All right. People might think the stuff that I say is so perfect that there's no way it's possible. It is possible. It's beautiful. So I'm going to read this. After my live yesterday with Chuck, which was amazing, by the way, about the World Cup, I did an interview with an incredible guy called Chad about my journey. He wanted to interview me about my journey. And we discussed God heavily and basically how I found God. After I did the live and after I did the interview, I went to bed as my body was shutting down on me. I've been not well this past week, and I do believe I've been getting attacked. Okay? So my body was shutting down. I was exhausted, but I said a prayer. This is in the afternoon around 4:30. I said a prayer right before I went to sleep, thanking God for guiding me. And I asked him to protect me from the attacks that I've been having. Okay? I really believe when you pray that if you're doing it for the right reasons, God will listen. And all I was asking for was protection from these spiritual attacks. And I also thanked him. He's given me this gift, this Holy Spirit within me. He's given me it to spread his word. And I'm so blessed. And yesterday, something wild happened. I was on a date. I'll get into that later. Just so you know, guys, I'm not going on dates with 100 different girls. It's just 2 girls who I really like. But I went on a date yesterday, and it was great. And I went over to the bar to pay, to get the bill. And it was right as the NFL game was over. The Panthers and Atlanta. I don't watch any of these games. I coded it. I had the Panthers. I'm actually 91% with my picks in November. November is that 11th month, which is the number highly connected to me. But I went over and it was organic because I didn't even know the game was over because the TVs were behind me. We were looking at the ocean. I wasn't paying any attention to the game. So I went over there and there was a guy with a girl. And he cheered because the game was over. So I just said to him, hey, bro, I take it you had the Panthers. No, bro, I had the under. Yo. And then he was like, but I've got a parlay with some hockey team. I didn't really pay much attention. I was like, all right, good luck. He's like, did you win? I was like, well, I said the Panthers would win. Well, how much did you win? I don't bet. What do you mean? Yeah, I don't bet. But if you notice, and I went over to him, I was like, if you notice this, and this, see how the Panthers just became 3-7. And right before the end of the game, the score had 37 points combined. And I just started doing all these numbers. He went, wow, you're a genius. And he was like, I think my girlfriend's attracted to you. And then he went, okay, if you're so smart, you're a professional gambler. I said, mate, I don't gamble. I have a website and all of this. So I threw out all these numbers. He was like, wow, how do you do that? I said, I just have a gift. He went, all right, if you're so gifted, what's going to happen next year? I said, you don't want to know. And his girlfriend's giggling. Like, girlfriend was blatantly, massively attracted to me because of my knowledge. She was like smiling at everything I was saying. And then he said, what's going to happen? I said, do you want my opinion? He was like, yeah, go on, smart ass. I'm so stupid. I was like, I never called you stupid, bro. I never said you're stupid. But I think that the economy is going to completely crash. I think there'll be World War III. And then he said, well, that's so obvious. You ain't as smart as you act. I was like, do you want to know what else I think is going to happen? I was like, have you read the book of Revelation? No, what are you talking about? I was like, the book of Revelation, the end times, the apocalypse. All right, I believe that's on its way. And I believe Jesus is going to return. He almost started on me. What did you just say? I went, I think Jesus is going to return. Wow, I was loving this conversation. And now you have to bring up Jesus. Are you a lunatic? He called me a lunatic. I said, am I a lunatic? No. You asked me where I think the world's going. I told you. I think there's going to be an economic crash. I believe there'll be World War III, and I believe Jesus may return next year. He screamed at me and he went, "You're a loser." He went, "Are you unhappy? Are you unhappy in life? Are you unhappy in life? You must be if you believe in Jesus." I went, "Mate, I ain't the one screaming right now. I ain't the one screaming." And then he said something smart to me. He was like, "Well, look at you. You out here by yourself. You clearly have no friends." I said, "Mate, I'm on a date with a beautiful girl. She's sat over there." "Well, what are you doing here?" "I'm paying the bill because I'm a gentleman." Yeah. And then he said something else smart to me. He was like, "Congratulations that you have a friend or something." And then he asked for the bill. It was like, "La cuenta, please. How much is it?" So he knows la cuenta means the bill. And I said, "Felicidades con la una palabra tu entiendo." He went, "What?" I went, "Congratulations for the one word in Spanish that you understand." And then I asked for the bill and I spoke in all Spanish. Then I walked off and I went, "Enjoy your little football game." So he had no issue with me talking about the NFL and calling it out and all the numbers. He thought it was amazing. His girlfriend thought it was amazing. As soon as I brought up Jesus Christ, he screamed at me and called me a lunatic. And I was like, there we go. There we go. There were no physical confrontation. You know me, guys, at this point, I ain't afraid. He probably could tell by the look in my eye, he wasn't going to do anything to me. All he did was ask for my opinion. I gave him it and he couldn't handle it. So anyway, let me get back to the code here. So, like I said, I go to bed, I say a prayer, I thank God for guiding me. I ask him to protect me from the attacks I've been having. Last night, I didn't have any. And I woke up about an hour and a half after. I check my phone, I get bombarded with WhatsApp messages. Okay. But I guess it's a blessing. People are thinking about me. And I saw that I got a notification from my bank. I was still kind of like drowsy, like a bit out of it. And to my amazement, after so much stress, all right, because for about 5 weeks now, I've been contacting Aeromexico, Expedia, my bank, trying to get my money back. $1,600, guys. It's not a few $100s. Significant money. And I don't give up. I knew I got screwed over. I knew I did nothing wrong. I wasn't going to give in. I got tested on my trip to England. I was spending 2 or 3 hours of my so-called vacation speaking to bots, but I kept going. When I went away with my dad for a 3-day trip, every morning we're like, "All right, ads, let's get down to the restaurant. Let's get on your computer and let's get that money back." My dad said, do not give in this. Do not give in." Because there was a couple occasions I said, "Dad, I can't do this every single day, Dad. Couple of hours, they're giving me the same shit or they sending me on a loop." I was like, maybe I've just got to accept the money's gone. He went, no, you won't, ads. You'll get the money back. All right, persevere. I was like, all right, Dad. Well, I got the money back yesterday. All right, I got fully refunded the money from my cancelled flight. And I ain't going to lie to you, and I don't know what's going on with me. I don't necessarily think it's weak anymore. And it was, I don't know if it was release or it was more because I said the prayer to God. It wasn't the money. Financially, I'm good. All right. All trying to get all that money back. It wasn't, but I need the money. I need to pay my rent. It wasn't anything like that. I'm competitive. Money got took from me. I was getting it back. And I ain't going to lie to you. When I saw the money hit my account after everything I've gone through to get that money back, a little tear dropped, a little tear. It was all sorts of emotions. And I think it was more like I was thinking about my dad. I was thinking about God. I was thinking about the fact that I didn't give in. And just out of nowhere, and my dad told me, he said, "Adam, you'll get the money back when you least expect it." When you least expect it. I've just got chills in both of my quadriceps there. That was a weird sensation. And yeah, I've got it back now. That's 2 months rent, which is amazing. But I prayed to God and he answered my prayer. Like I didn't pray asking for the money back, but I just said, "Thank you for guiding me. Please protect me." And then that, like shortly after, I was like, wow, that is so beautiful. I've got the screenshot on my website, November the 10th, 2022. I got the money back, guys. I got the money back. 30,247 pesos and 1 So, which works out about $1,600. Now, this is where it gets really wild, like really wild. Much love to you, Divine. Much love to you, Philip, Cheeto, Dion, Tom. This is a happy face, man. Red Pill Monkey. What a guy. I've had some beautiful syncs with Red Pill Monkey. I'll never forget our 10-8 Cusbar challenge. And then he got baptized on October the 8th. I'll never forget that moment. And the fact that score was 3-3 at one point. And I took a 3-0 lead and he came back. But then I nailed it 10-8. But it was just so beautiful. And our 3-3-3 sync with our birth dates. So I'm gonna keep going here. So I booked my original flight to England on 9/3/2022, but it was cancelled 2 days later on 9/5/22. 9/5 is connected to the 95 Theses, and I later found out, it took me a while, the reason why they cancelled it was because the airline had overbooked in regards to seats. All I got was a notification that my flight had been cancelled. They never told me the reason why it was cancelled, but I eventually got told they overbooked. But then Aeromexico was blaming Expedia, and Expedia was blaming Aeromexico. So Aeromexico was saying, you booked through a third party, you booked through Expedia, there's nothing we can do. And then Expedia were telling me, well, Aeromexico, they made the error. Okay, the money's come out of your account due to Aeromexico. So they were both doing that. And then eventually they both said, contact the bank. And then the bank said, you need to contact your airline. Then the airline said, you have to contact Expedia. And it kept going round and around. So I went to the bank. I was there one day, remember, for about 3.5 hours. And I was having to speak all in Spanish to explain the situation. And I printed off all the evidence that I'd been scammed out of money. And I've got it back. Yep. So maybe, like, you know what I mean? I went through so much stress, but all that stress was worth it for that beautiful moment that happened to me yesterday. It was worth it. It was completely worth it. After a hurricane comes a rainbow. I always say that. But so does Katy Perry, the bloke. So, booked my original flight on 9/3/2022. 9/3/2022 was Gareth Southgate's birthday. And I got my money back the day I do a live with Chuck about the upcoming World Cup, where we heavily discussed 93 and Southgate. I always go on about 9/11, and Flight 93 was one of the 4 planes hijacked during 9/11. Harry Kane, the current England captain, he was born in 93, the same year Bobby Moore died, who was the England captain in the 1966 World Cup final. The Bible says that Jesus was placed on the cross at 9 a.m. and darkness covered the land from noon until Jesus' death at 3 p.m. 9/3. My original flight, guys, I booked it on 9/3. Organically. All right? My brother's called John. And John, love you to bits. He was born exactly 16 months after me. Remember, the Euros was just the 16th edition. And he's called John. John 9:3. Listen to the start of this. John 9:3. Jesus answered. Remember I said the prayer? Jesus answered, neither did this man sin, nor his parents, but that the works of God should be made manifest in him. That's John 9:3. That's John 9:3. Wow. I booked my flight originally for 9/8. Okay? I was supposed to be flying to England on 9/8. It got cancelled 3 days before. 9/8 is the day Queen Elizabeth died. And I, of course, predicted a death back in 2020 that she would die at age 96 right before the World Cup. When I was in England, I did a park run with my mother, who is incredible, phenomenal woman. And she finished 98th in the race. I finished 72nd. Pope Francis became the Pope on the 72nd day of 2013. My mum comes 98th, who's a phenomenal runner. She runs marathons. 98th, the night before we were talking about the Queen. Wow. And if you remember, if we're going back to the bank story, this could be somewhat of a movie, ladies and gentlemen. It really could be. On 9/8, when I was supposed to be flying, but it got cancelled, I walked to the bank to try and get my money back. Okay? And I also needed to get a new flight, which I ended up doing on the 14th of September, the 149, which is a big number. It's the 35th prime. And if you remember this story, some of you will, some of you won't. I decided to walk, and as I was walking, I saw a dog. This was before the news of Elizabeth's death, but it was the same day. I was walking about 2 minutes from my apartment, and a huge dog approached me. And I mean huge. Looked like a wolf. And it had big old teeth, and it stared at me. And I just stood there. I didn't want to turn around. I didn't want to show fear. And literally for minutes, we stared at each other, like intensely. I wasn't going to move. That dog wasn't going to move. And it was looking at me. I was like, what is this? This is strange, this. All right, it's strange. And then it came up to me. It licked my arm. And then it moved back, kind of like moved back, like in reverse. It winked at me. It smiled at me, guys. And it nodded its head and walked off. And I've never seen that dog again. So I start walking down the road thinking, what just happened? There was an eerie air as well. Like the day, it felt surreal that day. So I'm walking towards the bank and I'm like, oh no. Oh my God, 40 in the live, 21 likes at Queen Elizabeth Born 421. Wow. I was walking down towards the bank and I was like, oh no. They still make you wear a mask. And I don't wear masks, but they were like, they won't let me in. They just will not let me in without one. I was like, oh no, I don't have any. I don't have any masks. What am I going to do? I was like, Andy, my best mate, Andy, who's actually from London. Guy born 4/4 and I'm born 4/14. His birthday's 10 days before mine. My ex-wife's birthday is the 24th, 10 days after mine. Okay, how incredible is that? Amazing Betsy. I'll never say a bad word about my ex-wife. You know why I left? It was this journey. It wasn't her. And I go to Andy's house and I'm like, mate, sorry to bother you, but is there any way I can just borrow like a face mask just to enter the bank? Because otherwise I can't get in. He's like, yeah, no problem, bro. But do you want a cup of tea? Do you want a drink? I was like, yeah, go on then. Yeah, the bank don't close for a few hours. And the bank's like 5 minutes away from his house. He sat down and he, out of nowhere, he was like, Adam, do you still think the Queen's going to die? I was like, of course she's going to die. But do you think she's going this year? I said, yeah, I really do. I think she's going at age 96. And I think she goes before the World Cup. But she could go at age 96 in 2023 before her birthday in April. He's like, yeah, it seems like she's never going to go. Like, I was like, I think she's going. I'm going to stick to my guns. And if she doesn't, she doesn't. But at least I've learned a lot. I've learned so much by coding Queen Elizabeth about our reality. I was like, yeah, fair enough. I went, all right, mate. And we had a chat about a few other things. And I went, all right, mate, I have to go. And remember, my mate lives at 205, like 25. As I have 25 likes, and Elizabeth became the Queen at age 25. He lives at 25. And I was like, all right, mate, I'll see you later. I'll let you know what the bank says. He said, good luck. He kept saying, you'll get your money back. I was like, I hope so. And I go to the bank, and as I'm about to enter the bank, literally the car park of the bank, my phone goes off. And I had no data, but you can take phone calls. I can send messages on WhatsApp without data with the plan that I have. And it was Andy. So I'm thinking, great, I've probably left my keys at his house, haven't I? What have I left? Why is he calling me so soon after I left? And he's a cool guy, very intelligent guy, but he's English, so we're sarcastic. We joke around a lot. And he went, guess what? I went, I don't know. I left my keys. He went, guess what? I went, I don't know, mate. I'm about to go in the bank. He went, the Queen's dead. I said, piss off. No, she's not. He said, Adam, Queen Elizabeth is dead. I said, mate, we've just had a chat about the Queen and how I think she's going to die. Stop. I went, listen, I'll speak to you later. He went, Adam, as a great friend, I promise you on my life, the Queen of England just died. Check your phone. And I said, mate, I don't have data. He said, check your phone. I have never had so many messages hit me. The Queen's dead. Illusion, you were right. Queen Elizabeth's dead. I was like, what? This can't be a joke. There's too many people. I was like, what? But this was the day I was supposed to be flying to England. So I'm like, all right, calm down, Adam, breathe. Just go in the bank. All right. And I told them that what happened with my flight. And I also said, hey, is there any way you can increase my allowance? Because I want to book another flight. And I was going to get a return flight, but it was like over $3,000. And the bank were like, no, you've got a limit of $2,500. I was like, can I increase the limit? And they were like, no, only if you paying for a funeral or medical expenses. And I was like, can I bullshit that I'm paying for a funeral? I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. So I was like, okay, I have to go home. I'm going to have to book a single, which actually was a blessing. It was all meant to be, because me having a single flight to London meant I wasn't like handcuffed to the calendar. I was like, I'll just go back home whenever I feel like it. And I got home, I was like, and straight away, as you know, if you follow my work, I did a live stream about her dying. And it was surreal. I think it's one of my most watched videos because I gave all the numbers behind why I believe she was going to die at age 96 before the World Cup. And people were like, wow, I doubted your work, but my word, wow, I'm a true believer now. I was like, is this finally going to be the thing that takes me to the next level? And it kind of did, but it kind of didn't. But it gave me a lot more faith in what I do. So let me go back to this code. I went slightly off topic there, but it's connected. So I believe that it was divine intervention, much love divine, that my flight got cancelled. Because if it didn't, I would have been on the plane when she died. So if my flight went ahead as planned, I wouldn't have even been aware of a death until I arrived in England. And Flinny picked me up, who's an amazing guy. Much love to Flinny. I actually called him yesterday. He was the first person I actually called to tell this story to, because he's been with me on this whole journey of me booking the flight and picking me up and taking me back. And he saw all the organic syncs that were occurring with me. And I told him about it all. And he couldn't believe it. He said, something so weird is happening. Something weird but beautiful is happening. And I was like, yeah, this is just so crazy. And he picked me up from the airport. Remember Flinny, I'd never met him before. And he's come out of his way to pick me up, to take me home. And he bought me dinner, which I'll get into that story later. He bought me dinner, took me home, and he got me home 1 hour. He got me home at 11 p.m. Another 11. Remember, Queen Elizabeth's funeral was 11 days after she died and started at 11 a.m. He got me home at 11 p.m. 1 day, 1 hour before my mum's birthday. And I promised my mum, I promise I'm going to get home this year before your birthday. She went, I'll hold you to that promise. I got there 1 hour before. That's the illusion, baby. That's how I operate. And it was incredible. I went just hugging my mum. She is a wonderful woman, guys, my mother. So my flight, the original one, it got cancelled 9/5, 3 days before my scheduled flight. 3. The Holy Trinity comes to mind when I think of the number 3. Remember, I was having all those issues with my apartment, and I eventually found a new apartment. And the apartment where I live now is number 3. 3 is just the magic number, isn't it? And the Christian doctrine of the Trinity defines one God existing in 3 co-equal, co-eternal, consubstantial divine persons. God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. So 9/8 can be written 8/9. Okay? I checked the book of Revelation. I've read it, but I read it a lot. So I went, I'm going to have to go over to my book of Revelation here. I need to see what page number I'm on when this happened to me. So I opened it up. You probably can't see it. Page 89. I was on page 89. Queen died on 8/9. Okay? How incredible is that? How incredible is that? And 9/3/2022, the date where I originally booked my flight, that's the 246th day of the year. It's the 246th day of the year. 246. Modern day Freemasonry was founded 24/6 in London, England, and I was flying to London. 6079 Smith says the Lion King was released 24/6. The lions are connected to England. Okay, 3 lions on a shirt. The lions are connected to Babylon. Lionel Messi, who's regarded as the GOAT by many people, he's born 24/6. 24/6, guys. And that's wild that Football Association was founded by Freemasonry, and then maybe the greatest player to ever play was born on the anniversary of Freemasonry being founded. But what's so beautiful about the 24/6 with me is that 24 times 6 is 144. I was born on my dad's birthday, which is 14/4, the 14th of April. There's 1,440 minutes in a day. Elizabeth died 8/9. 89 is the 24th prime, and there's 24 hours in a day. Wow. Wow, guys. You have the 144,000 in Revelation. Okay? It's crazy. In Revelation 6, remember my life path number 6. That's why my awakening probably at age 33, and 3 + 3 is 6. The Apostle John, again, reference to John, saw 6 seals of a scroll being opened. He then describes 4 angels who had power to harm the earth and sea. I think that has to be the 4 horsemen. Holding back the winds of the earth, one angel calls to the 4 angels to wait until they had sealed the servants of our God on their foreheads. The number of those to be sealed was 144,000. I was born 14/4 on my dad's birthday. Okay? Brian, I'll do a post about life path numbers on my website. So check this out. I was born on my father's birthday, which was 14/4. And it was my father working with me daily to get my refund. And he told me to never give up. He truly is an amazing father. So there's your Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. I was born on my father's birthday. I'm the son of my father. And he told me to never give in, which is connected to your spirit. The Holy Trinity. And going back to the 246, which can be written 624, the first 3 digits of my phone number are 624. All right? 624. When Freemasonry was founded. Messi's birthday. The next 3 digits, guys, of my phone number are 217. Michael Jordan's birthday. My friend Javi's beautiful daughter was born 217. I've just been messaging him today. I was born on my dad's 31st birthday. Okay? And I got my money back on 11/10/2022. Like 111. My dad was 11 when England won the 1966 World Cup, and 66 is the 11th triangular number. And my dad's house number in England is number 11. And I'll never forget. I said, Dad, are you aware you live at number 11? I said, look who's next door to you, number 9. 911. It was like, he had this smile on his face. And my dad just went to Portugal. He's actually still there. He comes back to England tomorrow evening. He sent me a message when he got on his flight to Portugal. And his seat number was 11, and he didn't book it to be 11. His seat number was 11. So my dad, who at the beginning was a little bit like, I don't really understand these numbers, Adam. I don't really want to talk about it. Not really that interested, but do what you do. He's now messaging me saying, hey, Adam, guess what my seat number was? I was like, 11? He was like, 11. Do you know how amazing that is for me? How beautiful that is? That's more valuable than any money. Where my dad is starting to see the beauty of the numbers. What my mum said to me right before I left was, she said, Adam, I know I don't really understand what you do, but I know that you have a gift and it's making you money and you like doing what you're doing. So keep doing it, son. That's my mum's way of saying I'm proud of you. One thing I'll say about my parents is they don't just give out compliments. That's why I have such high standards. My dad was the type of guy, if I would score 4 goals, it'd say ads. Probably could have had 6 though. All right? But well done. But it wouldn't be like blowing my trumpet like some parents. And my parents just trusted me. They didn't have to say, hey, have you got any homework, Adam? They knew I was going to do it. They didn't have to sit down with me and tell me to do it. They just trusted me. They let me be. And I'm so grateful for that. I really am. So I told you the Queen's funeral was 11 days after she died, and it began at 11 a.m. Remember, Remembrance Day is 11/11, and this is where it gets really beautiful, I think. So like I said, I received my money back on 11/10/22. We know 22 is 11 plus 11. And I got it back in the 11th month. Well, on this day, which was yesterday, I went on a date with a beautiful girl called Kenya. Okay? Whose phone screensaver is 111. She told me she has the 111 because she associates that number with intuition, which she believes is sacred. She has 111 as a screensaver. I met her yesterday on a date on 10/11, like 111. I woke up with her this morning. What's today's date? 11/11. All right? Her name, guys, is Kenya. Her name is Kenya. And Queen Elizabeth learned she was queen on a brief holiday at a remote Kenya treehouse. Elizabeth II was Queen of Kenya from 1963 to 1964. Kenya says some of her friends and family call her the Queen, La Reina. You telling me that is not God? We were supposed to go on a date, guys, on November the 9th, 119. I wasn't feeling too great. She wasn't really feeling great either. So we said, you know what, we'll do tomorrow. Not because of the 11:10, I didn't even think about it. So we didn't meet on 11:09, we met 11:10. That's the day I got my money back. And remember, Flight 11 was hijacked with 9/11. And the Twin Towers came down. That looks like an 11. You wonder why the main character from Stranger Things is called 11? So, like I said, I woke up with her today on 11/11. Her favorite number is 22, which is 11 plus 11. Her favorite number is 22. Now listen to these 22s. I was born on my dad's birthday, exactly 22 weeks before my mum's birthday. I was born on my dad's 31st birthday, the 11th prime. My favorite number is 11, exactly 22 weeks before my mum's birthday, and that's 11 plus 11. And you wonder why my whole life 11's been my favorite number and my football jersey number, and how I would say I ain't playing for this team unless you give me that number 11. And I could say that because of my ability, and they would give me the number 11. So how wild is that? I was born 4/14/1986. My mum's birthday in 1986 was September the 15th. Exactly 22 weeks, guys. My mum gave birth to me exactly 22 weeks before her birthday. Wow. I got my money back on the day I did a live stream about the upcoming 22nd edition of the World Cup, which of course takes place in 2022. Do you think that's maybe why I got my refund a span of 22 weeks and 2 days before my birthday? Woo! I got my refund, guys, a span of 22 weeks and 2 days before my birthday on the day I did a live stream about the 22nd edition of the World Cup that takes place in 2022. Come on. If that's not good, God communicating with me. I've told you Harry Kane's the current England captain. He was born 15/6. 9/11's 156 prime. I'll get to 9/11 in a moment. But he was born exactly 22 weeks after Bobby Moore died. Bobby Moore was the captain during the 1966 World Cup final. Yes, number 6, who lifted the trophy in 66, like 666, whilst England were wearing red. And then Harry Kane gets the golden boot in 2018 for England, where he scored 6 goals. Harry Kane born 28/7. 28 is considered a perfect number, the 7th triangular number. 7 is a number connected to Jesus. So I arrived in England on the day Elizabeth's coffin was being moved to Westminster, all organically. So I'm arriving in London, all right, guys, whilst Queen Elizabeth's coffin's being moved. And I'm the guy who predicted her death. And guys, if you haven't got the book about Queen Elizabeth, send me an email, purchase the book from me. All right, if you have any type of respect for these numbers, and if this story is inspiring you now, you need to purchase that Queen book off me. It's $10. It's a couple of beers. So this next bit. Something made me check the distance in miles from Mexico City to London. Something made me check it. So I went into my Hotmail, which is an interesting name, Hotmail, isn't it? Such a joke. So distance in miles from Mexico City to London, 5,541 miles, 5541. 55 plus 41 equals 96. I predicted Elizabeth would die at age 96. The original reason I liked her to die at age 96 was all the connections I made with her and Euro 96, which England hosted in 1996. So I was like, wow. Now check this out for 96. I received my flight refund a span of 9 weeks and 6 days after I made the reservation. 9 weeks and 6 days. And then you'll come to realize that 9 weeks and 6 days is 69 days. Australia 10, New Zealand 14. George Floyd was born 10/14. 9 weeks and 6 days is 69 days. Queen Elizabeth in gematria equals 69. Queen Elizabeth was coronated exactly 69 weeks after becoming queen. 69, guys, was the gate I flew from. And I've got a screenshot on my website. From gate 69, I flew from Mexico City to London. I remember messaging Chuck. I said, Chuck, you're not going to believe this, brother. I said, guess the gate number. He was like, what is it? I think he said 56. I said, no, it's 69. And he went, oh, my word, Queen Elizabeth. I was like, yep, 69. Mexico City is a huge airport. And I've got the screenshot of it. And my flight, 11:15. So I'm, of course, fascinated by numbers. I got my money back on the 314th day of the year. All right. 314th day of the year. What do you think of when you think of 314? Pi. The number pi is a mathematical constant that is the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter, approximately equal to 3.14. I get my money back on the 314th day of the year. 314 often falls on the 73rd day of the year. Queen in gematria equals 73. She was married to Prince Philip for 73 years. I was the guy who predicted Tom Brady would go 7-3 in Super Bowls in 2021 before the season began, and I said they would beat the Chiefs before the season began. Kansas is connected to the royal family. That's why they have the Kansas City Royals. Remember Philadelphia in the baseball 42 years ago beat Kansas City Royals 4-2 to win the World Series. Charles became the king at age 73 as well. So it's breathtaking. Tom Brady, who I've decoded so often, he retired after 22 seasons with 7 rings, 227. 22 divided by 7 is 3.14. I decoded the Warriors to win the NBA 6 months before they won it. I told you Steph Curry would be the MVP. When was Steph born? 314. The master of the three-point shot. My trip lasted 5 weeks and 1 day. And again, organically. The only reason I came back home is I had an amazing guy called Tim. He was like, I really could do with you coming back now and coaching daily. He's missing your coaching. So I was like, okay. I've spent whatever it is, over a month here, which turned out to be 5 weeks and 1 day, seeing pretty much everyone I wanted to see. I had a great time, spent a fortune, but it was worth every single penny. And it turns out my trip lasted 5 weeks and 1 day. I got my money back yesterday on a day, leaving 51 days left in the year. So my trip was 5 weeks and 1 day, and they refund me my money on a day with 51 days left in the year. The Illuminati were founded 5/1, May the 1st, 1776. Remember, the Declaration of Independence was signed in 1776 on July the 4th. I'll say it again. The Illuminati founded the United States of America. The Illuminati were founded a few months before the Declaration of Independence was signed. 56 people signed it. And then Queen Elizabeth was born 1,776 days, like 1776, after Prince Philip. So my trip, 5 weeks and 1 day, I get my money back on a day, leaving 51 days left in the year. The Illuminati were founded 5-1. Gianna Bryant, Kobe's daughter, who died in the helicopter crash, she was born 5-1. England beat Germany in Germany 5-1 10 days before 9/11 in 2001. The game was in Bayern Munich Stadium. Bayern Munich are known as the Bavarians. The Illuminati were founded in Bavaria, Germany. Trump's great-grandmother, Elizabeth Christ Trump, yes, middle name Christ, born in Bavaria, the Kingdom of Bavaria. She died 6/6/66. Get ready for God's kingdom, guys. Satan's running the world right now. I told you Flinny picked me up from Heathrow. And he took me for a meal. My first meal back in England was Indian food, because we love Indian food in England. It's like, people are like, what's the thing you really want when you get back to England? I really want to go for a curry. So he takes me to this curry in High Wycombe. And I don't know High Wycombe, never heard of this restaurant. The place was called Mr. India. And I remember saying, that's an original name, mate, for an Indian restaurant, Mr. India. I was like, that's so lazy. He kind of laughed. He was like, no, bro, son, get yourself in there. Curry's top notch, son. And it was like, okay, I'm all over curry. I can't wait. And it was delicious. And we got all the trimmings, like garlic naan, onion badges, curry, chapatis, kebabs, chicken tandoori. We had the full works, ladies and gentlemen. It was absolutely delicious. We get the receipt. He paid for it, by the way. Thank you so much. That was incredibly nice of you. The fact that you're picking me up from London, taking me home to the other side of England, and you buying my dinner, I couldn't believe it. I was like, really, mate? He was like, yeah. And he's very like, yeah, I'm buying it. I was like, nah, yes, I'm buying it. And then he put his card down. There you go. Thank you. This Flinny guy is an unbelievable person. An absolutely incredible person. A wonderful human being, as Brendan Rodgers would say. And I said, let me look at the receipt. So I look at receipts now. And the address of Mr. India was 911 London Road. I went, bro, look at this. He went, what's up? Is there a problem with the bill? I said, no. Look at this. Look at the address. And he was like, I'm not going to say what he said because he swears a lot. Oh, 911 London Road. Oh, what, son? I was like, yes. 911 London Road. And Queen Elizabeth died exactly 911 days after coronavirus was declared a global pandemic, which was declared on 3/11, and 3:11 p.m. is the 911th minute of the day. And 3 times 11 is 33, and 33 times 3 is 99, and 9 times 11 is 99, and Prince Philip died at age 99 on the 99th day of the year. It's like, shit, slow down. And then I went to the restroom, and there was, I can't remember exactly what it was. I think it was like a candle, and it was number 96. The candle said 96 on it. I said, go in there, tell me what you see. He was in there a few minutes. He went, oh man, I saw the 96 on the candle. I was like, yep, the Queen died. So that bill came up to £77.55. That's pretty expensive for 2 people. But like I said, we ate so much and we had a few beers as well. Tiger. All right. Tiger. We've had the year of the Tiger. We had the Bengals getting to the Super Bowl where I predicted the Rams would win 23-20, and they did. And what happened there, the bill was $77.55. Flinny, the type of guy he is, he then, 5 weeks later, came to my house because he was in the area, I think, anyway, because he was delivering something. Picked me up, took me to London. We had a curry again. Okay. But at a different place, and the amazing Divine Feminine Living UK was there. Divine will know how beautiful that day was, and the sync, she'll tell you about the 222 bus. She'll tell you about how Flinny parked up outside house 369, which is all about Tesla. Okay? She'll tell you all of this, that we were going to go to a pub called King William, and it was closed down. So we went for Indian food. Divine doesn't really eat a lot. And all I got was a curry. I didn't want any of the starters or anything this time because I was getting on a flight. And if you remember that flight, guys, I felt like it was going to crash. The turbulence was something I've never experienced. I'll maybe mention that later in the live. But Flinny picked me up and we stopped in Leicester at the gas station in Leicester. And I've coded Leicester why they won the Premier League in 2016, the year Kobe Bryant retired. They finished with 81 points. Kobe's highest scoring game, 81. Kobe died in a helicopter crash, like the owner of Leicester. They played at the King Power Stadium. Kobe had a crown tattoo. There's a million other things. And Leicester is where David Icke's from, who I always call out. I was like, okay, Leicester. And I think he said Leicester, where we were, was exactly 101 miles away from Heathrow, 101, the 26 prime. All the 26s with Elizabeth. So I go in, we go to the restroom, we buy some bottles of water. I close the door, and it's got this like advertisement on the door. And it said text 77055 to donate. 77055. The amount that curry cost for my first meal in England was £77.55. I have an image, guys. And I said, Flinny, get in here, check it, go to the next one, and you see it's not the same one because I checked. It's a different thing that they're marketing. It's literally about Indian girls suffering from periods. And they wanted £3, of course, £3 donated. Text 77055. The bill was £77.55p. Flight 77. 55 is the year my dad was born, the year Bill Gates was born. Satan number. It's like yesterday, I like the Panthers to win because I see traps now. If I feel like it's too clear, I saw if the Falcons won, they would have become, what would they have become? 5-5. And 55 is the 10th Fibonacci triangular number, and it's week 10. I was like, that's not going to happen. So they dropped to 4-6. That's why at one point the score was 19-9, and 199 is the 46 prime. And remember, Brady was the 199th pick, and he retired 46 days after the Pope's birthday. I messaged Gabriel. You all know Gabriel if you follow my work. I said, Gabriel, I just quickly saw the scores 19-9. Can you screenshot it? And he went, oh, sorry, bro, I missed it. 19-9, the 46 prime, and they dropped to 4-6. These numbers are absolutely incredible. My dad lived at 199 Valley Road. 33 in the live, 33 likes. 33 in the live, 33 likes. Wow. Wow. So, like I said, my first meal back in England was Indian food. The name of the place was Mr. India, and the address was 911 London Road. The lead singer of Queen was Freddie Mercury. And Elizabeth's death was connected to Mercury retrograde. Freddie Mercury was of Indian Parsi descent. If you watch the movie, you'll know that Freddie Mercury has connections with India. All right? He was the lead singer of Queen. Now, Queen, the band, highly successful. They just brought out that movie like we know, Bohemian Rhapsody. We recently had the movie with Elton John. Elton John sung Candle in the Wind for Princess Diana, who never died. All right? We've been getting bombarded with movies of these icons. Elvis is another one. What was his nickname? The King. the king of rock and roll. His movie comes out right before we get King Charles. And then we have Will Smith, who was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Okay, and then he releases the movie where he's the father of Serena and Penis Williams, Richard. You have King Richard. So the prince, the Fresh Prince, went from being the prince to the king. And then he won an Oscar. And then he slapped Chris Rock, which is Christ the Rock. And I've told you, Will Smith, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and Satan is the Prince of the Air. So this is so deep. This is so deep. And you've got Leicester City, one of the reasons why they won the Premier League was connected to a king. All right? You had King Richard, guys. King Richard, buried in Leicester. All right? And Jamie Vardy, his middle name's Richard. Jamie Vardy was born January the 11th, 111. Okay? Which all connects to the Queen. And King Richard was the third, which can be written 111. Heskey, who scored that fifth goal in the 5-1 win for England, he has the same birthday as Jamie Vardy. 111. It's all coded, guys. That's why right now I have 34 in the live and 34 likes. And Steph Curry won the NBA at age 34. And Matt Stafford won the Super Bowl at age 34. And Benzema won the Ballon d'Or at age 34. And Messi won the Copa America at age 34. The final was his 34th appearance. Jesus died, guys, the 3rd of April. A date that can be written 3-4. All these big stars getting all this recognition at age 34. Now, Freddie Mercury died from HIV. H is the 8th letter of the alphabet. I is the 9th. V is the 22nd. The Queen died 8/9/22. He was the lead singer of Queen. Queen Elizabeth, like I said, died 911 days after coronavirus was declared a global pandemic, and I arrived the day her coffin was being moved. And right before I went to England, I went to a bar to watch a Queen tribute act as well in Mexico. God is great, guys. Isaiah 41:10. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Thank you, God. I just finished my presentation with 36 in the live, 36 likes. I'm age 36. 666 is the 36 triangular number. That's beautiful. I just ended my presentation with 36 likes. Wow. So I'm going to focus on you guys for a little bit. Kyrie Irving. I'm going to tell you this now. Kyrie Irving, in my opinion, is being used by the devil and God. Both. I believe this controlled opposition. Obviously, Kyrie Irving, he won the NBA with LeBron. He's been regarded as one of the best players over the last 10 years, Kyrie Irving. Whatever is presented in the media is by design. I would not trust Kyrie Irving, but that doesn't mean some of the stuff that Kyrie Irving says, Russell Brand says, David Icke says, Jordan Peterson says, is not legit. In my book, The Illusion, I've ended it with impactful quotes. Okay? And I know these quotes are from people who, in my opinion, were working for Satan. All right? Whether it's JFK, whether it's George Orwell, whether it's, who else did I quote? Gandhi, all right, Tesla, whoever it may be. But if you actually read the wisdom within the quotes, they make sense. So what I would say to you, you have to question Kyrie. You can't believe everything that he's saying. I believe with what Kyrie Irving's doing, he got punished for speaking out. He was allowed to speak out, but he got punished for it. So all that's doing is warning people like me that if you call out X, Y, and Z, you'll be punished. We punish Kyrie Irving, an NBA legend. We can punish you. Kyrie Irving has sold his soul. But it doesn't mean the stuff that he supposedly said don't have some sort of truth to them. The closer you get to God, the higher your levels of discernment become. So if you think Kyrie Irving's 100% spreading truth and he cares about humanity, then I think you're gullible. But he will provide you with X amount of truth. And that's what they do. That's controlled opposition. And for all those people who believe that all these celebrities are all getting whacked and taken out, wouldn't they just take out Kyrie Irving if it was that easy? People tell me they just take out anybody who calls them out. I'm still here. Why is Kyrie Irving still here? Why is Russell Brand still here? Getting interviewed on TV. All right? These men don't have as much power as you think they have. Don't fear man. Don't fear man. What happened to me yesterday was God. And it was absolutely beautiful. It showed me the power of prayer. It showed me the power of faith. It showed me that I should never give up. It showed me that I do believe somewhat my reality is coded in a beautiful way. My whole thing now is go through life, enjoy each and every day, inspire people, make them laugh, bring them joy. One day at a time. I got a phone call this morning from my old director at the school where I worked at. He said that the school, grades 7 and 8, the teachers are going to go on a school trip to Mexico City. He said, can you cover for a week for us? I said, absolutely. You've been so good to me. I'll come in. So I'm going to help out at the end of November for a week at the old school. I love teaching. I do. I don't like the education system, but I'll go in there for a week. Could have easily said, no, I'm not interested. I could have been really stubborn and like, no, the education system's corrupt. No, yeah, I'll come in. I'll help out. So grateful. So all we got to do is so easy, man. Go around helping people. All right? Smile. Just keep it simple. Don't overthink everything. So, again, I was speaking to Kenya, which is so wild. Kenya as well, by the way, if you replace the E and the A, it's Kanye, who I keep talking about. The guy who was born on 6/8, and the 1984 book was published 6/8, 1949. And you had Kanye born 6/8, 77, 1,018 days before the Georgia Guidestones were erected. And Luke 10:18 is about Satan getting cast out of heaven like a lightning bolt. So you can question this. When the basilica was struck twice by lightning on February the 11th, 2013, do you think Satan did that or God? I think that was God, the wrath of God. All right? Remember, it was God who cast out Satan. Satan didn't leave heaven. He got cast out. There's a difference between leaving a bar and getting thrown out by the bouncer. Yes, you're technically not in the bar anymore, but there's a big difference between leaving it and getting kicked out. He got cast out. And the reason that lightning went off is because Pope Francis became the Pope in 2013, and he is the false prophet. Wow, Adam, I used to pray you would get this revelation. Thank you so much, Nadi. The power of prayer is real. It really is. Red Pill Monkey were telling me how powerful it is. He's telling me to get baptized. I think I'll do that, to be honest with you. Barak means lightning. Yeah, that's wild. Do you think Kanye knows this? that he's born that many days before the Guidestones? That's a fantastic question. That's a really, really amazing question. I wish I knew the answer, whether they know or not. Like, does Brady know? Brady said his wife was a witch. He did say Giselle was a witch. But yeah, does Brady know why he was drafted 199th pick and that Pope Francis was born 12/17, the 199th prime, and that he was going to retire 46 days after Pope's birthday, and 199 is the 46th prime, and that he was going to retire 319 days before the Pope's birthday, and he won Super Bowl 55, 31-9. 31 plus 9 is 40. He came out of retirement 40 days after Jesus fasted 40 days and 40 nights. Do they know? I don't know. I think perhaps the real top stars know. I think Kanye will probably know. How I see it is this. I've been doing this since 2020. About 2.5 years, 2 years, whatever it's been. And yeah, wow. Has it only been 2 years? No, it's been longer than that. It's been about 2.5. Look what I've learned by myself without the occult or taking part in initiations or ceremonies or rituals or sacrificing people. What I've learned, you have to think that some of these stars know what's going on. Yeah, it's been almost 3 years then for me. As I've in the life for 1 hour and 11 minutes, 111. I'm actually meeting my mate Andy tonight. He said he's starting to really love what I do now with the numbers. And he's seeing syncs in his own life. He wants me to decode the cricket tomorrow, England, Pakistan. So I'll probably do that for him. And the community, I'm sure. A few people. Obama is Kenyan. Wait, Obama's Kenyan and my date was with Kenya? And Elizabeth was the Queen of Kenya? And found out she was going to become the Queen in Kenya? So the good thing with Kenya is she appreciates the numbers. She's so funny, Kenya. She's so funny and has this huge smile. But she said she's so terrible with numbers, but she really is mind blown by how I present the numbers. She said I'm the most interesting person that she's ever met, which is a compliment. Careful, Adam. What do I need to be careful of? Super Bowl 55, Satan equals 55. Yeah, the score 31-9. Brady threw for 201 yards. And then he visited the White House on the 201st day of the year to see the 46th president. Joe Biden, Tom Brady equals 46. And like I said, he retired 46 days after the Pope's birthday. It's why I told you all that LeBron's going to retire 4 and 6 in NBA Finals. But then your boy Hubbard's trying to convince you differently, which is cringeworthy. 4-6, guys. 4-6 is 66.6%. Adam, did you see you can go live with another person now? You should do a live one day. I had no idea, but that's phenomenal. I would love to do a live with you, Joseph. Not today, but one day next week. I'd love to do that. Klopp reads World War II books for the leadership, he said in a podcast. Oh, my goodness. Klopp's a Nazi. I told you that ages ago. And I told you that this will be his last season with Liverpool before the season began. Is your date originally from Kenya? She's Mexican. Her name's Kenya. Her first name is Kenya. She's Mexican. So, England 4, Japan women's game. My word. Getting me is that rugby? You'd have to pay me 50 grand to sit down and watch England versus Japan women's rugby. Yes, people put their best foot forward. Wait until you see the ugly foot. That's true. What else have we got? Yeah, Joseph was born on... Joseph, you were born on your mother's birthday, weren't you? And I was born on my father's birthday. You can't make that up. Yeah, Joseph, his name. What about my name, Adam? The first man on earth. Crazy stuff. My question for you, Ed, is there is a shift in the monarch. What do you see? I obviously know about the book because I read the Queen book, but what do you feel, my darling? I feel the royal family is going to get destroyed. I've told you I believe that King Charles will die next year at age 74, which I know how big that number is. That's why the US's Independence Day is 7-4. 7 and 4 is connected to Revelation. 7's the fourth prime, which connects to the four horsemen. I would say keep an eye, if there is another king, keep an eye on Prince George, William's son. George Orwell. King George was Elizabeth's father. George and the dragon, how George slayed the dragon. George Floyd, Georgia Guidestones. Yeah, there's so many Georges. My youngest brother, George. Stephen George Gerard, St. George's flag. So keep an eye on that little Prince George. Remember, Prince William was born 21/6, summer solstice. 6 times 6 times 6 is 216. 21's the sixth triangular number. Kenya may be a perfectly wonderful young woman. You deserve a good girl. I've told you I don't really want a relationship. I really like Kenya. I like her personality. I like her humor. I like the way she looks. I like her fact that she's open-minded. But yeah, just I go one day at a time. I ain't planning on getting in a serious relationship with anyone. Be careful. We don't want her to mess things up, since most girls are mostly after something. My whole thing, mate, young Newton, is I go a day at a time. If it gets to a point where I feel like it's not working, or the energy is not there, and I'm not enjoying her company, or she's not enjoying mine, I'll stop meeting her. I don't get too attached to anything or anyone. I told you I'm not attached to the world. For now, when I see her, it's like once a week. It's fun. We've got a lot in common, and there's a physical attraction. So I'll keep doing it until that's not there. I'm not going to put a label on us. I don't do labels. So I get wound up when people say, are you a Christian? Are you an atheist? Are you all this bullshit with titles? I'm not doing it. All I'm telling you is I've got all these connections with this girl called Kenya, and Kenya is so synced up with the Queen. Guys, I predicted the Queen's death. I've got a book about her. Do you not know how insane this is, what I'm presenting to you? And the syncs? How organic they are? Who's behind that? You think it's the Matrix? It's not. It's God. Simple as that. I finally found out how to use the other ciphers on Gematinator. I'm not good with tech. Yeah, you just got to keep playing around with it. George of the Jungle. Yep. You got the lion, which is the king of the jungle. I've told you the lion connects to England. A dime woman is different if she's a dime. I don't know what you mean by a dime. The lion represents Jesus. That's why Jesus is the King of Kings and the lion's the king of the jungle. Right. I think it's time for me to go. I hope you enjoyed that presentation. It could have been more stuff I could have said. I told you when I was on the plane coming here, I thought the plane was going to crash, and it was as I was watching Matrix 3. And I was there were people screaming and crying, saying, I don't want to die. The girl squeezing my arm. And I was ready. I was like, is this it? Is this really how I'm going to go on a plane as I'm watching The Matrix? I giggled. I giggled. Guys, I'm telling you, it was insane. It was insane. And you know the story about me with my bag. I had to run back and get my bag. And I got on the plane 1 minute before they were going to close the gates. And I got there at 10:14. I said, what time is it? 10:14. I was like, oh, my word. That's when George Floyd was born. And they said, excuse me, sir. I said, no, nothing. Just can I get on the plane? I got on the plane with 1 minute to spare. And I remember being on the plane thinking, why did I run for my bag? Why did I do that? And now I'm going to go out in a plane crash. And I'm not exaggerating. But I ran for the bag. The bag had $1,000 in it, which was naive of me. I should have put it in my jeans, to be honest. But it all worked out for me. As you know, I told you the story. I ain't going to tell you it again. But it was absolutely wild. Divine was there at the airport with me. She didn't witness me run after the bag, but Flinny was there as well. Got the story with the Asian girl, which was wonderful and beautiful. Telling me how her favorite number 7. And then I'm stood with her. Said, wait a few minutes. I need to see what gate I'm going from. I was like, I bet it's 7. She went, okay, sure it is. Because that was after she said her favorite number 7. I said, look up there. Her gate number was 7. Her gate number was 7. Guys, mine was 34. Going back to Mexico City, 34. The day before, I did a video about Benzema winning the Ballon d'Or at age 34. How wonderful. 34 plus 7 is 41. My first ever video was about Kobe Bryant, who died at age 41. So, wow. Beautifully synced up. 1 hour 21 in our live, which is 11 times 11. Wow, Adam has friends all around the world. I do. Illusion about to eat HP sauce with hot dogs. I'm not. I would do that. I would nail a hot dog with HP sauce. Some fried onions. I had some delicious tacos yesterday, by the way, guys, with the fried onions. Sfarley, if you're watching, you know what I'm talking about, baby. You know all about those fried onions. But yeah, no, I'd be all over a hot dog with HP brown sauce right now. This morning I went for birria quesadillas. Unbelievable. And I went in there and it's like a family-owned business. I'd not been for a long time. And when I went in, I felt famous. Oh my God, it's Adam. He's here. We thought you'd gone. We thought you'd left Mexico. Like, no, estoy aquí. Speaking to him in Spanish. Like, amazing food, amazing family. Oh man, I'm getting hungry again. Why did Johnny G always finds a way of making me feel a bit peckish? Yeah. What else we got? Anything else? Are we good? The line of Judah equals 888. Wow. Did you see my code, Joseph, about Donald Trump and 888? Did you see that one? Absolutely insane. Happy Face Man sending me 4 emojis for hot dogs for another 4 for the 4 horsemen. I just said that I'm hungry, and now he's sending me those emojis. So, yeah, wow, glorious. Just an example today of the beautiful code. I love you, Dad. I love you, Mum. I love everyone who supports me. Kenya, you're an amazing woman. Yeah, thank you so much, God, for answering my prayer. This is what happened here was a sign that don't give up. However frustrating life can be, however tense it can be, don't give up. The guy who thought I was a genius in the bar then calls me a lunatic just because I bring up Jesus Christ. We're in a spiritual war. And right now he's on Satan's team, although he was probably a decent enough guy. But as soon as I brought up Jesus Christ, he had a meltdown. I was like, okay, I won't talk about it anymore, mate. Have a good night. And then he kept asking me more questions. Those people who tell you to shut up and then ask you questions. It's like I thought you don't want me to speak. Yeah, but what about this? I'm like, no, I ain't answering it anymore, mate. She told me to shut up. So, Lego 888, the art of the deal 888. I don't use those ciphers. I stick to about 5 ciphers personally, but yeah, I know we all code differently, and those 888s are wild. What I love is the thing that he has about Trump's calm before the storm statement was 888 days before 3/11 on the 5th of October. That's amazing. Because I prefer date durations than gematria. So that is like, wow. And then if you watch my video about Trump and 888 and why he's running for presidency again, like I said he would. Yeah, me and Joseph, what I love about Joseph and myself is we code differently, but we always do that. We always find a way of connecting our codes together. So he says something mind-blowing, I back it up. And then he says something, and then I back it up. Then I say something, he backs it up. So Joseph and I have this gift, but we don't code the same way. Like he doesn't really focus on sports, which is good for him. He's more biblical, although I do a lot of biblical codes. He's more biblical. He does more things with perhaps in politics than I do. He knows a lot more about like Obama than I do. But we bounce off each other, and we're both extremely gifted, and we're both being used by God to help other people. And I'll only ever say positive things about Joseph. 9:11 p.m. in the UK. That makes it 2:11 here. That makes it 2:11 here, guys. And yep, I got my money back 2 months, 1 week, and 1 day. 2:11 after I booked my flight. 2:11 is when Basilica was struck by lightning, February the 11th. 47th prime, 2:11. We're about to have the 47th president of the US. Who's it going to be? We'll find out, won't we? Did he get aggressive and want to fight me? He got aggressive, but he knew he would have got knocked out by me, straight up. The way I looked at him in the eye, how confident I was, my body language. He was getting rattled. I didn't do anything wrong. I just made him look like a fool. And I didn't intentionally go out of my way to make him look like a fool. He did it himself. So if he was going to fight me, I ain't a guy, I told you, I ain't a guy who's going to go around looking for fights. If he would have gone for me, I would have knocked him out happily because I did nothing wrong. And if he would have swung at me, I would have knocked him down. So, but I don't want to promote violence. It's not who I am, but I've told you, I don't take shit from anyone. He was definitely drunk. But like I said, when I was talking about sports and the numbers, he was like calling me a genius and telling me his girlfriend's attracted to me. My girlfriend fancies you and all of this. I'm like, I don't think she does, but okay. She wasn't denying it. But why would you do that about your own girlfriend? Tell a random guy that your girlfriend's attracted. It's obviously a bit strange, but whatever. People like that, they're trapped in the matrix. He was just delighted that he won a bit of money because he had the under in the NFL game, which was just a complete guess. Whereas my code was practically perfect yet again. But whatever. That's him. I'll never see him again. Thankfully. 2:11 is a police code for a robbery. I didn't know that. Is London Bridge ever going to fall down? I think the Golden Gate Bridge is coming down before that. Why does God not just kill the devil? The God created the devil for a reason, to test our spirit. He's given the devil these 42 months to reign, to test us. I've told you most people are failing. Most people are failing. So yeah, it's easy to say, why don't God kill the devil? The God created the devil. All right? The devil will be cast in the lake of fire very soon. And a lot of people are going to go with him. And even good people are going to go with him, in my opinion. So yeah, it's not so simple as, if God's so amazing, why don't he just destroy all of sin? If you study the Bible and the book of Revelation, you understand why the devil's here. All right? Then see, in the kingdom of God, which I think's not far away, you're going to actually believe that maybe that where we're living right now is technically hell to an extent, because the system's satanic. The system we operate in is satanic. We've just become used to it, that we're not fully aware of just how satanic and demonic it is. It's a beast system. Jesus had 12 disciples. I think he had 13. If you include Judas. Didn't he have 13? Like we should have 13 months in the calendar because 52 divided by 4 is 13. Should have 13 zodiac signs, not 12. So I'm not even sure there was 12 disciples. I believe there were 13. But again, I won't be able to prove it. So are we in the 40 months? I believe we are, Stan. I believe we are. Matthias replaced Judas. Remember, Lothar Matthäus has the most caps in World Cups. Is German, biblical. Matthias replaced Judas. Lothar Matthäus has 25 appearances in World Cups. Coronavirus was declared a global pandemic 3/11/2020. Exactly 42 months after that is 9/11/2023, which is exactly 22 years after 9/11/2001. 22 is the master builder number. God's going to destroy this earth and create a new one. The master builder. That's who it is. That's God, the master builder, who created this universe that we live in. Paul is the 13th disciple. Matthew replaced Judas. Okay, so it's 13. So, all right. Seth, Cyrus's brother, was like Judas, apparently. That's why you have Seth Rollins, who always wears the Baphomet gear when he's wrestling. He's married to the man, Becky Lynch. All right, I'm off. Guys, on my website, I'll post a few more things today. You know, I usually post a ton. I haven't done much because I've been nonstop. I just got home, showered, did this live stream. Well, I typed up the code about my amazing sinks. So when are you back live? I don't know. I know there's a guy from the Watchman Report who basically knows the Bible and the book of Revelation inside out. He said he wants to do a live with me, I think today, about the World Cup. I did one with Chuck, which was incredible, but this one will be more biblical about why the World Cup is in Qatar, and it all connects to Israel. I might do that later. If I do it, hopefully you'll get notified. If you're on my website, you'll definitely get notified. So yeah. I might be coming on later on his website, on his YouTube page or mine. I don't know. I have to message him. I actually told him I'd do today at 12 o'clock. It's now 2:18. So yeah, I've got to stop saying yes to everything. I'm in demand, which is a beautiful thing, but I also have to know when to say, hey, no. And I also have to find a bit of time for myself like I did last night. But all right, take care. Maybe I'll come on live again later. I don't know. Probably won't, but if I do, I'll speak to you all then. And it'll be pretty intense if it's with Marco. Done a live with him before, and his knowledge of scripture is the best I've ever come across in my entire life. So yeah, take care. Much love. And yeah, no is a full sentence, baby. Who's the manager of England? It's Southgate, yeah. The guy who missed the penalty in Euro 96, wearing number 6. And it was the 6th penalty for England. That shootout finished 6-5. Pope came the Pope, 3-13, the 65th prime. Yeah, that guy, Southgate. Southgate, South, okay, going down, gates, the gates of hell. Southgate, that's where he's going to be going for what he's done, the way he's deceived us. He'll be going to hell. So, all right, take care. Much love to all of you. And I'm going to leave right now. I think I'm going to leave right now before I fall any deeper. Well, young for you just to finish off. All right, boom, bam, woo! Adam, come to the UK, have a curry. Mate, it's about $1,500 to get to England. If you want to send me that money and fly me over for a curry, I'll be there and I'll buy the naan breads. Woo! Take care. Much love. Adios. God wins, or shall I say it again? God has already won. You better pick a side, ladies and gentlemen. God or Satan. Pick a side. You know which side I'm on. Woo! Woo!